I learned a lot about business in prison. I just didn't realize that it was going to apply quite so well out in the world. The first thing I realized, and the most important thing, is you have to do a good job. This may seem obvious, but whether you're sewing someone's shoes back together, whether you're cleaning a cell, whether you're repairing a TV, if you do a good job, people are going to remember that. They're going to recognize that, and they're going to recommend you to other people. The second thing is, tell the truth and be about your word. If somebody says, hey, this has got maybe a 60% chance of working, hey, people are going to remember that. If it doesn't work, they're not going to blame you. I have a tattoo on my side. The guy was like, man, I'll do this, and here's the deal. If it looks as good as I want it to look, I want $100. If it looks how I think it might look, I want $20. So I paid him $20 because it did not look as well, and I wasn't mad because he told me up front he wasn't sure he could do the work. But I realized how well this worked in the world when I first got out. I was in jiu-jitsu, my knee kept popping. It literally kept popping out of place no matter what. I would roll, I would stand up, I would do something, and I could not figure out what the problem was, so I went to a local PT, a physical therapist. Somebody had recommended this guy and said he's great and he's honest. I went there for my first visit, and 5 minutes in, he diagnosed. He said, there's nothing wrong with your knee. I was like, bro, my knee pops out every time. He's, yep, nothing wrong with your knee. You do not have proper glute engagement, which means your knee is trying to carry the weight of everything. So rather than carrying that weight on your hips, carrying that weight on your glute, on your leg, all that pressure is going to your knee, which is causing it to pop out. He gave me a series of exercises. I went home, I did an hour of exercises every single night. And what I noticed is my knee stopped popping out. I went back to the second visit, I showed him the stuff I'd done, and he gave me this weird look, and he said, man, you actually did the exercises. I said, yeah, you told me to. You told me to do an hour a day. He said, yeah, but I send everybody home, and nobody does the exercises. I said, well, what's the point in that? He said, well, okay, I've got you scheduled for 5 visits. If you're willing to keep doing these exercises, go ahead and cancel your last 3 visits. Because the only reason I have those 3 follow-up visits is to make sure people are doing their exercises and to remind them again and again, or at least do enough exercises in the visit that they're getting some kind of benefit. If you're doing that yourself, you don't need to keep coming back and paying money. And that was when I knew he was honest, because he very easily could have said, he immediately diagnosed me, he knew what was wrong with me, he managed to fix my problem. I would have gladly gone back, but he was honest enough to say, hey, you don't need to come back. There's no point in you spending more money, even though it would have benefited him. So that, for that reason, if anybody asks me about a PT, I will always refer him to that guy, because I know 1, he is good, and 2, he is honest.